game. That was a very frustrating loss, 100% though. Before we talk about what happened with everything that happened in the Lions game today, we need to look at everything else that happened in Detroit sports first this weekend. So for the Tigers this weekend, actually, we're not going to skip too much because the Tigers actually were good this week, winning 5 of 6 games and winning both series this week against Baltimore and the Chicago White Sox. So yeah, some things you love to see there. Despite being eliminated, the Tigers end up getting some positive momentum there. And also, the Tigers finally ended their GM search, bringing ex-San Francisco Giants GM Scott Harris over. So the GM search is over and the Tigers got their man. Of course, Scott Harris said that his main fundamentals to making this Tigers team successful in the future is looking at not only getting and acquiring young talent, but trying to retain them too, and talking about how top organizations have had the ability to retain young talent. And say not just only that, but also trying to get the absolute most out of them. So yeah, he has good ideas for sure to get this team younger and to get the most out of the players. Question is, can he do it though? Because a lot of GMs talk that kind of game, but can they walk that kind of game? So yeah, but he's going to have a lot of work to do, especially with how Alavilla's run this team into the ground. So yeah, Scott Harris has his work cut out for him, but hey, you can't do any worse than Alavilla though, right? But before we continue on, no, the Detroit sports team did drop a nuke this week. In terms of news, as the Detroit Pistons have made a massive trade. Kelly Olynyk and Saben Lee are gone. As both of them got dealt to the Utah Jazz, in exchange, the Pistons get Boban Bogdanovic, Double B. That is a really big trade, because with Boban being one of the top players, with being a pretty solid player in the league, and the Jazz continuing their full-on rebuild and dismantling and blow-up. With they already got rid of Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, and now Boban's the most recent piece on the Jazz to be shipped off. So yeah, that's a really good trade. You also get rid of Saben Lee, thank fucking God. So yeah, with Boban on the Pistons, now the question is, will he stay the whole season, or is he just trade baited for the deadline? I mean, if he's trade bait for the deadline, 100% you could get a first round pick out of him. And the fact the Pistons only gave up Olynyk and Lee for Boban, that's an absolute steal, because the Jazz were originally looking at a first-round pick for him, and Weaver used his magic to fleece the Jazz. Like, 100% the Pistons can get a first-round pick out of Boban at the deadline if they choose to trade him. If not, then 100% the Pistons are in contention for a play-in spot. Top 6 spot, don't push your luck. The team ain't there yet. But play-in spot, that is a possibility. 100%. Just the Pistons' future, it's all going to be about just developing the young talent and getting some chemistry there, especially between Jane Ivey and Cade Cunningham. But the Pistons are definitely treading in the right direction with their future bright. Now to the Lions game this week, and man, this game was very frustrating. Like, the Lions outplayed the Vikings for a majority of this game. Just like, what was that? Like, the Lions just showed the lack of talent on the team, especially on defense. This team just needs to learn how to finish these type of games. Like, they just can't finish worth a damn. Like, in this game, the Lions blew not one, but 2 double-digit leads, blowing a 14-0 lead early in the first half, and then the second half blowing a 24-14 lead. So they blew both a 14-point lead and a 10-point lead in the same game. You're not going to win many games in this league blowing double-digit leads twice in the same game. That's not a recipe for success. The Lions, overall, though, they did do a very good job, especially Jeff Okudah shutting down Justin Jefferson for much of this game, because every time Jefferson was near Okudah, Jefferson only had 3 catches for 14 yards around Okuda, so that was pretty solid. I know a lot of people complain about Hutchinson not getting any production this week, but he leads the league in total pressures. And keep this in mind, folks. You keep overreacting here. Because Aiden Hutchinson's job is not to sack the QB. It's to pressure the QB to force the QB to make a bad throw. The sack is just a bonus. For fuck's sakes, they literally teach you this type of shit in high school football. If you weren't taught that, if you played high school football and weren't taught that, then you didn't have that good of a coach to begin with. But yeah, just a pretty frustrating game. Like the Lions made so many goddamn mistakes, especially Amani Oruwariye. He's made so many he had so many penalties, like 6 penalties. What the hell? Just made so many sloppy mistakes, and then Dan Campbell, late in the game, choosing to kick the 54-yard field goal instead of go for it on 4th and 4. When your kicker has had inconsistent issues kicking long field goals. And Lord and behold, Seibert missed a field goal. Like, Seibert also missed 2 field goals in this game, which is a 6-point swing. Then you're chasing 6 points the entire goddamn game. And the 54 was well beyond his career long. So you had him attempt a career long, and he missed it. Like, let's be honest though, even if the Lions went for it on 4th down and failed, everyone would still be calling for Dan Campbell's head regardless. Like, the Lions they were able to get enough pressure, and Kirk Cousins didn't really have that solid of a game. It's just the Lions made too many mistakes, and that missed field goal gave the Vikings excellent field position. Like, if the Lions went for it on 4th and failed, they would have put the Vikings at least 10 yards further back. And that would have gave the Lions maybe enough of a chance, but we'll never truly know for sure. But yeah, the missed field goal just put the Vikings in excellent field position to take the lead late in the game. Like, the Lions just need to learn how to finish these type of games. Like, they took the points and failed, and yeah, Campbell regretted it, especially when Lions were having success going for it on 4th down all game. The main thing, though, was the drive prior when they went for it on 4th and 1 and Jamal Williams got stuffed. That was a big deal. That was a big deal breaker right there. But they got the ball back, and just that, the Lions made too many mistakes, and it cost them the game. Just mainly trusting Austin Seibert's leg, and it failed, and Oruwariye making too many mistakes failed. That and Tracy Walker getting that Achilles injury really hurt the Lions' defense 100%. As it seems like Walker, will have to see what the evaluation is, but it looks like he might be out for the year with an Achilles tear. That's a big blow to the secondary. Fuck. Just like the Lions have had so many great things, have so many positives on this team. They just need to stay healthy and stop making mistakes and learn how to finish games. Like, if the Lions can finish some of these games, they could probably be 3-0 this year, but now at 1-2. But to be perfectly honest, I expected the Lions to start this year 1-2. Like, so far I've gotten every Lions game right this year. But yeah, you look at the Lions' next 3 games still against teams like Seattle, New England, and Dallas. Those next 3 games are winnable. The Lions need to win at least 2 of those next 3 games to really have something go this year. You either need to go 2-1 in the next 3 game stretch or 3-0 to really have a chance. Like, this team is close. They just need to get healthy, add some more young talent, especially on the defense. And they'll be in a really good position since after 3 weeks, the Lions have the 3rd ranked offense. But the defense, it's still work in progress. Some great strides for sure. Like, easily this was the defense's best game of the year, but that's not saying too much. Just, this team made a lot of mistakes, and they just need to clean that up. But yeah, and everyone's saying this an SLL loss needs to back the fuck up and shut up. Like, this fan base is easily the masters of overreacting way too soon. It's only week 3, not week goddamn 10. The season's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So yeah, though, anyway, though, congrats to the Viking fans. You know, congrats on the win. See you in December later on in the year. Just Lions fans need to quit overreacting, because they're the goddamn masters of it. Just, you know, in the end, just a frustrating loss. Like, the Lions had the Vikings right where they want them, and they let the Vikings escape into the damn woods. Just, you know, the Lions just can't seem to get it done in Minnesota. They haven't won at U.S. Bank since 2017. But yeah, just too many mistakes, but the next 3 game stretch is crucial for the Lions and the season this year. If they can win at least 2 of the next 3, then I think they're in a really good position. Or at least go in the bye with at least a winning record, maybe. We'll have to see. But yeah, next 3 games are crucial for the Lions. But anyway, I think that wraps it up here. Just, you know, Lions just made too many mistakes against the Vikings, and it cost them. What else is there to say? Like, Dan Campbell, he regretted not going for it on 4th down. When Campbell was notorious for being aggressive, he chose to take the points. It failed. He made a bad decision. Was he the reason the Lions lost? No. It was part of the reason, but it wasn't the main reason. Like, the Lions had so many mistakes. Like, the team just could not finish as a whole. Like, it's not an individual sport, it's a team sport. Everyone needs to remember that. But yeah, just frustrating loss. We got the Lions and the Vikings right where they want them, and we just let them slip right under us. But yeah, anyway, that's going to wrap it up here. That's really all I got to say, like, just a frustrating loss. But anyway, hope everyone's a great day. On to Seattle next week. Peace.